All right, going to be working through T3 for the 8th grade math class. Looking at number 1. It says a rectangular portrait is 2 yards wide, 1 yard high. It costs $21 and a penny per yard to put a gold frame around the portrait. How much will the frame cost? So it is 2 yards wide, 1 yard high, and it costs $21 and a penny per yard. So, like I always like you to do, if you have a question where it makes you draw something out, go ahead and draw something out so you can see it. So we'll say that's 2. We'll say that's 1. So we'll my perfect artistic abilities. So 1 yard and 2 yards. Now it says you're putting it around the whole thing, so it means you're going 1 yard this way, 2 yards that way, 1 yard again, and then lastly 2 yards again. So it costs $21 and a penny per yard. So here's a yard here, so this will cost 21 and a penny, 21 and a penny, and then this will be 2 yards. So this will be 42 and 2 pennies. So 42 and 2 pennies, 42 and 2 pennies, and you're trying to figure out how much it's going to cost. So you're going to do 21 and a penny per yard. So that's times, and then you have 2, 4, 5, 6 yards. So 6. Okay, so you're going to do 21.01 times 6. Okay, 21.01 times 6. All right. Okay. All right. A rectangular hotel room is 3 yards by 5 yards. So hotel room, it's 3 yards by 5 yards. So same thing. Make sure you draw it out. It's 3 yards by 5 yards. The owner of the hotel wants to recarpet the room with carpet that costs $46 per square yard. Okay, square yard, that means right there you found the area of something. So how much will it cost? So you found the area of this. Okay, so this right here. You found the area of this, that's 5 and 3. Well, we should know that the area for a rectangle or a square is base times height. So here's your base, here's your height. Old school's length and width. I mean, it's same concept, just 2 different letters. So area is 3 times 5, or base times height. It doesn't really matter, you're multiplying, so you can do 5 times 3 to keep it even. So you can put the 5 here, 3 here, it doesn't matter. So area is going to be 15 yards squared. So it's going to be 15 yards squared. It says it's $46 per square yard. So which means now you've got to take how many square yards? So this whole thing is 15 yards squared. So 15 square yards. You've got to take that and multiply it by your 46. So it's going to be $46 per, multiply, per square yard. Okay, so $46 times 15, and you'll get your answer. All right. Each side of the square-shaped room is 7 feet long. So each side of a square-shaped room, it tells you square-shaped, everything will be the same. So go ahead and just draw it out. Even if you don't really use it that much, it's just good practice to go ahead and draw it out. So 7 feet, and we know squares are the same on each side, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on the side too. So each side of a square-shaped room is 7 feet. Each is 7 feet. What is the room's area? We kind of already done this. This step, okay? You did your base and your height. Well, square is no different than a rectangle. The area will be the base times the height. So here's the base, here's the height. So we're going to do area is 7 times 7. Okay, then you'll get your answer. Now, a rectangular ink pad has a perimeter of 32 centimeters and an area of 63 centimeters. Okay, so a rectangular ink pad. So rectangular. I'm going to draw it kind of small on this one because it's just more of a visual thing. All right, what are the dimensions of the ink pad? Now, it's rectangular. Okay, it's rectangular. The perimeter is 32 centimeters and the area is 63 centimeters. Okay, now there's multiple questions on there like this. I think I've actually done another one on the back page of this one. You're going to use the area first, and we know area. You're going to be doing area is for a rectangle base times height. Okay, two numbers need to multiply to get 63. So what you're going to do is you're going to factor 63. So you're going to do 1 and 63. 1 times 63 is 63. Okay. All right. 2 doesn't go into it, so no even numbers go into it, obviously, since it's an odd, ends in an odd number. Now, does 3 go into it? 3 does go into it. Okay. So 3 goes into it. Well, how many times does 3 go into it? Okay. Well, 3 goes into 30 10 times. 3 goes into 60 20 times. So one more than that will be 21. Okay. Now, since 3 goes into it, multiples of 3 will go into it as well. Can go into it, I guess would be better say. Multiples of 3 can go into it. 6 does not because it goes into 60. 5 obviously doesn't. 4 doesn't, it's even. 6 doesn't because it's even. 7, does 7 go into 63? Yes, it does. So how many times does 7 go into 63? Well, 7 times 9 is 63. So 7 times 9. And those are your last two numbers. Okay? So all of these are the factors of 63. So you broke down and you did all these factors. Now, what you've got to figure out is 1 times 63 is 63, 3 times 21 is 63, and 7 times 9 is 63. Now, if I took this rectangle in the perimeter of 32 centimeters, that means I'm going to add something twice. So like I'm going to add this one twice, and then add them together. Okay? Because we know that perimeter is 2 times the base plus the height. Okay? So 2 times the base, 2 times the height, or you could say, I think the old school way was perimeter is 2 bases plus 2 heights. Okay, it's the same deal. Nothing changes, or length and width. It doesn't change. All concepts are the same. So I'm going to take this times 2, add them together, and see if it does it equal 32. Obviously, it doesn't because 63 is already bigger than that. Okay, so now I'm going to try 3 and 21. So if I did 21 times 2 and 3 times 2, 21 times 2 is 42. So it's obviously not going to work because it's already bigger than that one. So the last two options we have is 7 and 9. Okay, so 7 times 2 is 14. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 14, that does equal 32. So 7 and 9 are going to be the two numbers we work with. So that means this side would be 7, this side would be 9. All right? And so by doing, by doing 7 plus 7, that gives you 14. And then 9 and 9 gives you 18. And eventually that will give you 32. Okay? So these two numbers are the two numbers you're going to plug in. I think in your question, it gives you it gives you like a box. And it'll say, in this case, centimeters. And then it'll give you and then it'll give you another box in centimeters. And that'll be how it sets up how it wants you to answer. And it doesn't matter which one you answer. You can put 7 here, 9 here, or flip it around. That's how you're going to answer that question in IXL. All right. Got a couple questions left. A square newspaper ad has a perimeter of 108 centimeters. How long is each side? Okay. So it says a square newspaper. That means we know squares are the same on each side. So which means you added the same number to the same number to the same number to the same number, and we got 108. So which means you're going to do 108 is the same as x plus x plus x plus x. Okay, well, how would you get the 4x's? There's 4 sides. We don't know how long each side is, so when we don't know something, you gotta give it a variable. Okay, so we obviously didn't know it, so we gave it a variable. You can give it any variable you want. X is just what we typically use. Okay, so we said the square newspaper ad has a perimeter of 108. That means you added 4 numbers together and got 108, and they're all the same because it's a square. So 4x's is 4x equals 108. And then to get rid of the 4, you divided it by 4. Okay? Any questions there? Hopefully not. If there is, you can always say something in the comments, and I'll get back to it. Now, 2 more questions, and then we'll be done. All right. I did one more of these just because there was so many of them. So we're going to go ahead and try it again, just like question number 4 over here. Okay? Except I'm not going to give you the answer to this one. I'll just lead you down the right path. It says the perimeter of the rectangle ink pad is 48 centimeters. It is 14 centimeters tall. It is 14 centimeters wide. How tall is it? Well, I guess I got rid of that question. All right. I think this one was similar to it. That's the reason I changed it. Yeah. All right. So only one question like number 4. I thought I wrote down another one, but I guess I didn't. All right. The perimeter of the rectangle ink pad is 48 centimeters. So the perimeter is 48, which means we added 2 numbers together and then added 2 more numbers together. Okay. Well, we know it says it is 14 centimeters wide, so this is 14. So we obviously know this is 14. Okay, because the wide is the same on both. And now we're trying to figure out how high it is. So how tall is it? How high is it? Okay, when we figure out how high it is, so we got 48 equals, and then one side is 14, one side is 14. We don't know the other 2, so we're just going to put the 2 heights. Okay, we don't know what the heights are. So 14 and 14 is 28 plus 2h equals 48. All right, subtract your 28, subtract your 28. So you get, I'm going to write it over here. You get 20 equals 2h, and then divide it by 2 to get rid of the multiplying by 2, and then h is going to give you something. Okay. All right, last one. This was in the 90%. This is the area of a square barn is 2,500 square meters. So square barn, square meters, that means you already found the area. Okay, so this is the area is here. The square meters gives you a for sure that this is in fact 2 numbers multiplied together. Well, we know a square barn is the same on each side. Now, another perfect drawing, so which means this and this are the same. So 2 numbers that got multiplied together gave you that. Okay, so the way you figure it out is if this is the area and you multiplied 2 of the same numbers together, that means you got x times x, so it gave you x squared, not 2x, because you didn't add them, you multiplied them. Okay, and then you got 2,500, 2,500. So to get rid of the x squared, you square root. Okay, so square root the 2,500, and you'll get your answer. Okay, if you need help on any other questions, please say something in the comments or send me an email to my email, and I'll get some more questions on here.